These are 3 of my favorite Thanksgiving sides, part 1. You guys really love this one, so I'm gonna make it for you guys. The stuffing gravy. So for my herbage, I'm doing sage, rosemary, and thyme. Okay, so for this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make what's called a roux. So I'm gonna start off with equal parts butter, and I need to have equal parts flour weighed out. And of course, why not melt a turkey butter, just to be festive. So once that butter gets melting, I'm gonna toss in my mirepoix, as well as my herbs in. And I'm just gonna cook these until they're a little translucent. I think now's a good time to also mention, I forgot to put the onions in, so add onions into this. It'll be in the description. I'm gonna add in the flour, equal parts by weight. And then I'm just gonna whisk that in. It should look like wet sand, pretty much. And then I just have some chicken stock that I had in the freezer from January, it says. I'm just gonna add in that chicken stock. Now, you can do turkey stock as well if you want, or whatever kind of stock. You could do veggie stock too. Beef stock would be good as well. Just gonna give this a little whiskey whisk, and I need to bring this up to a simmer now. Okay, now this is called stuffing gravy for a reason, okay? Because I want it to be like stuffing, a chunky gravy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just chop up nice large diced chunks of some sourdough loaf. And this sourdough loaf, you guess it, it's going right into the gravy. Now, you could probably toast it beforehand, but I don't think that's gonna matter because it's gonna get kind of soggy anyway. This is just like some 2-day-old loaf that I have here. So it's already kind of stale, which is perfect for this. So now bread goes into the gravy. Let's say this is and say it got too thick. If it got too thick, I add more chicken stock to loosen that guy up a bit. Then we just season that to taste with salt, black pepper. I like to go very heavy on the black pepper with all of my gravies. And a touch of soy sauce to taste. And there we go, we've got a beautiful looking stuffing gravy, as we can call it. Let me zoom in for you guys. This is comfort food at its finest. Stuffing gravy. Okay, so first off, I'm gonna get my potatoes going in the oven. So now, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna leave the skins on. I like having skin, so. I'm gonna just cut it on the bias. And I'm gonna do nice, small dice of my potato. Now you can use, orange sweet potato like this. They call this the yam variety. You can use the white potato, the purple potato, whatever you want. This one is just one of my favorites that I get to do at least once a year for this occasion. What I'm doing is I'm putting it all onto a sheet tray. Actually, first, I forgot, I'm putting it all into a bowl. I'm just gonna do some extra virgin olive oil, then maple sugar, touch of kosher salt, and then just give that a little mixy mix, and then I'm just gonna toss it into the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, now while that's in the oven, I'm gonna be making the marshmallow fluff. Now this one's gonna be pretty different than your regular marshmallow fluff. So I'm gonna start off with just some sage, okay? I'm just gonna chop that up roughly, stem and all. That goes into the pot. And then from there, I'm gonna add in my water, followed by the corn syrup. You say syrup or syrup? Comment down below. I don't know which one you say, syrup or syrup. Syrup sounds kind of weird. I don't know why I just said that. Then our sugar. Then I just put that on the heat. I'm gonna bring this up to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. While that is going, I've got some gelatin. I've got my water. As always, ratios are down below. We're gonna put this in here. We're just gonna give that a little mixy mix. You can use a fork, you can use a whisk. As you can see, I'm just mixing it like this by hand. Let that bloom while this is coming up to temp. Now, the reason why I put the sage in here is because I want it to be a sage flavored marshmallow. It's festive, it's good for this time of year, it's gonna be nice. So we got the sage, with our sweet potatoes, a little maple. It's gonna be nice. So just let this go up to 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and then we're gonna give it a little strain. Now I'm straining it straight into a stand mixer, and make sure to have this ready to go because this happens really fast. Stand mixer with a whisk attachment. Then we just start whisking it up until it reaches around 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Then at this point, I just take this gelatin mixture that I had. It's already bloomed. I toss it in. Keep mixing. This is what you should be left with right here. Beautiful, fluffy marshmallow. Okay, when these come fresh out of the oven, I like to toss them with a little bit of butter. But if I wanted to, I could just do olive oil. So I don't have to add dairy to the mix. Because, you know, some friends might be dairy free. So I'm just gonna add in a little bit of olive oil, and there we go. My potatoes are ready to go. Okay, now the next side is a little sweet, but it's also great. So, pecans, I have water in the pot, I'm tossing it into there. I bring it up to a boil. Once I bring it up to a boil, then I'm just gonna strain it. Okay, once these pecans come up to a boil, what I do is I strain all that water out, and then I pour it back into the pot, and I repeat this process 5 times or so. Pour in new water, bring it up to a boil, strain it. The reason why I'm doing this is because it's gonna get rid of that bitterness, and it's gonna also get them ready to be fried and candied. So once I'm down to my very last strain, I toss them into a bowl. I get a nice handy glove on. If you don't have gloves, you can go ahead and go bare, up to you. And then I just toss in some powdered sugar. Then just gonna give these a little mixy mix. And then you'll see the powdered sugar will start to sort of transform and become like a paste, like a translucent white paste, kind of like the stuff that you put on top of cinnamon rolls. So we're gonna have a nutty mess. That's what your mom said. Now, if you're wondering what oil I'm using rice oil. I'm using rice oil because it's a neutral flavor. If you wanna use a neutral oil, use canola or rice, vegetable. Peanut, not so neutral, but it's also a really good tasting one for this specifically. So I wanna agitate my nuts as I'm frying. I'm a kid, sorry. I wanna agitate my nuts as it's frying so they don't like stick together. And I have a sheet tray here ready to go so I could toss them on there. Okay, these will start to change very quickly. So pull them out immediately when they start to turn brown, dark brown, I should say. And then spread them out onto some sort of rack. And then I like to season it with some flaky salt at the end. And now we could just repeat this process with the rest of our nuts. And that is side number 3 done. These are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at these nuts. All right, guys, that's all there is to it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want a part 2, let me know and I'll drop 3 more Thanksgiving sides.